a week removed from perhaps the greatest World Cup performance in United States men's history. Now, Team USA comes to the sparkling soccer city of Seattle, where it is high noon, and it is time for an enormous matchup with Australia. The winner today knows for sure they are going to the knockout round and the new round of 32. But they also know that they will be in pole position to try to win Group D, which of course is so massive. Winners from their first group games, the United States and Australia, set to square off in Seattle. At Lumen Field today, it is a great soccer city. They have come out and supported the Stars and Stripes today for this Group D matchup between the Americans and the Australians. It will be a spectacular day. Group D, take a look at it. The United States and Australia, as mentioned, both won their openers. The U.S. beating Paraguay 4-1, while Australia beat Turkey 2-0. So there you see, bottom left of your screen, Group D, the U.S. and Australia up top. Turkey and Paraguay, who will play later, are fighting for survival down at the bottom. Of course, yesterday we had action in both Group A and Group B. Mexico's already through to the round of 32. The winner of this game will join them. So here in Seattle, it's the United States and it is Australia. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll start with the Australians, who scored 2 goals against Turkey last week, and neither of those goal scorers are in the lineup here today. It is Patrick Beach who once again gets the start over Matty Ryan, who has, of course, been with the Australian national team for 14 years and has over 100 caps. But Beach got the start against Turkey. He remains between the pipes. It is a back 5 for Australia with that low block that's going to look to slow down the pace of the United States, which popped through the television screens and hopefully your YouTube radio outlets as well last Friday. And one of the main men up top for Australia is Mohamed Toure, who signed just 4 months ago with Norwich City in England. He is up front along with Matthew Leckie. For the United States, it's once again the Harvard grad Matt Freese in goal. Against Paraguay last week, he became the first MLS goalkeeper to ever start a World Cup game for the United States. The back 4 will be tested today, maybe a bit more than they were last week. Anthony Robinson and, of course, Alex Freeman on the perimeter. The captain, Tim Ream, up the middle with Chris Richards still basking in the glory of his New York Knicks winning a championship. In the midfield, Ricardo Pepi gets the start for Christian Pulisic, who is out. He does seem to be okay. This is precautionary measures keeping Pulisic out. In the midfield with Pepi, Tillman, McKennie, Adams, and Dest. They were all terrific against Paraguay, but the best of all was Flo Balogun, who gets the start as the lone striker for Mauricio Pochettino's team. We say hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to Seattle. Thanks for having us in for the match. It was perhaps the greatest game ever in American men's soccer history. Last Friday against Paraguay, they scored 3 in the first half. Flo Balogun scored twice. They romped Paraguay, a team that had come through a very tough South American qualifying roster of games. They dominated the game in every way. Now a chance to make it to the knockout stage with a win and, of course, to take top spot in the group. Australia in their yellow shirts with green numbers will kick us off. The U.S. in their stars and stripes with the white shirts, the horizontal red stripes, and blue numbers, and we get ready to go. This World Cup, so much anticipated in North America, so much anticipated here in the United States. The reason why was it was because this World Cup had a chance to make this sport a major sport in the United States. Now they have the Americans' attention. Now can they deliver, coming off a huge performance last week? Australia kick us off, and we're underway in Seattle, high noon in the Pacific Northwest. And off a long ball sent up the far side, it ricochets back. And Australia in control. A long ball up the far side, intended for Matthew Leckie. Pinballs out of play on the far side. It'll be the United States with possession. They'll have a throw-in far side at the halfway line. As I mentioned, 3 in the first half last Friday against Paraguay, on their way to a 4-1 victory. The U.S. on the throw-in, and they've turned it over, and it's Mohamed Toure entering the penalty area from the right, and a shot right on is smothered by the 2 arms of Matt Freese. The 27-year-old goalkeeper from Wayne, Pennsylvania, makes his first stop as some sloppy play in the back for the United States brought the Australians in with an early opportunity in Toure, who, as I mentioned, signed in England with Norwich City just 4 months ago. had the opportunity. U.S. will start again. From our left to our right, they will attack. The white back shirts with the dark blue numbers and the horizontal red and white stripes moving across. It promises to be a game where the U.S. will have the majority of possession. Tim Ream tries an aggressive long ball up the far side. Too far for Anthony Robinson to run down. It comes all the way back to Pat Beach, the goalkeeper for Australia. That is such an interesting story with Tony Popovich choosing Beach to be in goal as Australia tried to play out of the back. They nearly turned it over, and eventually they have, but the U.S. won't come in full possession of it until they're to the right of the center circle with Alex Freeman. Of course, the big change with no Pulisic in the lineup. He was spectacular against Paraguay, winning so many one-on-one duels, creating opportunities. It was his great play to split a double team that led to the own goal in the first 10 minutes to put the U.S. in front. Here is Freeman in the midfield, playing it up. On the near side, it's collected by Weston McKennie, who tried to spin one to the middle for Balogun. It's defended high into the air on the near side by the Australians and the Socceroos. It's out on the near side, could not be held in by Nishan Valupale. So it'll be a United States throw. World Feed gets a look at Tony Popovich, the manager of this Australia team that got them to a well-deserved 2-0 victory over Turkey in their first matchup of this World Cup in Vancouver 5 days ago. Game in which Australia were the underdogs, and a lot of people were surprised that they were the underdogs. Ended up winning that one going away. Here's Ream sending a ball up the far side. And here is Anthony Robinson on that far touchline against Jacob Italiano. And he tries a cross that Italiano blocks. It goes out of play. Did it ricochet back off Robinson? It looks like it has. It'll be a goal kick for Patrick Beach and Australia, who these bright yellow shirts really shine brightly in the sunshine of Seattle. There are some rain chances later in the afternoon, but for now it is not only quite sunny, it is fairly warm when the sun pops out on a day that it might touch 80 degrees in the Pacific Northwest. Beach sends a long ball up the middle, and it comes to Balogun, whose backheel flick from the circle tried to open up Ricardo Pepi. Instead, it was defended up into the air by an Australian, and it comes down, and a foul is called against the United States as Aidan O'Neill ended up on the deck for Australia, who made the round of 16, of course, in Qatar 4 years ago. They restart play quickly. Jordan Boss had it off the left-hand side, and he has lost it out of play. Tried to cross in that Freeman blocked, but it went off of Boss last. It'll be a U.S. throw. And it's tossed in by Freeman to Chris Richards from Birmingham, Alabama. Sends it to his left for Ream. Forward up the far side, Anthony Robinson gallops across the halfway line. He's closed in on by Matthew Leckie. Hands it off neatly for Malik Tillman. Played on back to the circle for Richards again. Off to the near right side. Serginho Dest collects there. Dest plays it back. Taken on the halfway line by Freeman. Now Richards again. This way for Serginho Dest, born in the Netherlands. On back for Alex Freeman from Baltimore, Maryland. Into the circle for Birmingham, Alabama's Chris Richards. Richards looked to his left, now plays it up the middle. Finds Weston McKennie from Fort Lewis, Washington. Sends it this way for McKennie once again. Now Richards for Tyler Adams. And then Adams was able to turn it on back for Richards again as they probe and push this Australian defense back. It's looped in on the right-hand side, collected there by McKennie, who sends a cross into the middle looking for Pepi, who missed the header. It's up in the air. It comes down for Robinson, who twisted it right in front of the face of goal, and we've got a whistle, and it's going to go against the United States here. Possession will belong to Australia, but that was a good spell for the U.S. Plenty of possession, and they kept pushing the Australian defense back. A very compact, low block for Australia here. Might have gone off a hand of an American on the deflection, and that's why we got the whistle. Perhaps off Balogun's hand, or oh no, Balogun, I just think, yeah, called for the foul as he grabbed the back of Aidan O'Neill. Much warmer here in the outside stadium of Seattle than it was last Friday night in Inglewood, California, that the United States played against Paraguay as they win possession And play it all the way back to Freeze, who will play it with his feet, shuffled onto his right. Richards lost the ball. Valupale gets to it aggressively, and then Richards grabs it back, stoked it into the middle. Balogun with a back heel flick. He tried to return it for Pepe. He got twirled down. They played on here, and Australia could be in, but stepping towards the penalty area was Toure, and the U.S. were able to rip it out of his possession. Ball's in the air in front of the U.S. technical area, right alongside Mauricio Pochettino, and it's gone out of play. It'll be an Australia throw taken quickly, and perhaps too quickly for the liking of the German referee that's in charge of this match. Off the throw, and it comes left-hand side Boss. He is surrounded by Americans. Taken away by Freeman. He cranks it up the near side. Collected by Paul Okan-Ingsler, who turns it all the way back into the Australian half, where it's helped on by Harry Sutar to the goalkeeper Patrick Beach. He launches it long up the middle. It pings around. It comes to Balogun. One-touch flit to the far side. Never made it to his target, Tillman. It popcorns around off a few foreheads. And still, it's up for grabs as it finally falls in the circle to a yellow shirt. O'Neal tried to twist it forward. Tyler Adams got hacked down, and there's a foul going against Australia as Adams is still on the deck and slapping the floor with his right hand. A foul by Matthew Leckie, the 35-year-old veteran from Melbourne, contesting his 4th World Cup. And he, swung right through the left boot of Tyler Adams there. That's a heavy impact.
We obviously didn't learn from yesterday, guys. Come on.
Yes. Hello to you, JT.
Hello.
Chief button pusher, JT.
Indeed. Just like this.
Calder Cup continues tomorrow. As play
Is it
restarts.
tomorrow or tonight?
Oh, I feel like it's tomorrow, but I could be wrong. I'm not an AHL follower, as I probably should be.
Tonight.
Wow, okay. United States have it the other way. At this point, last Friday against Paraguay, they had already scored. Here's Weston McKennie up the right-hand side. Squared ball back towards Tyler Adams, who trickled it back for Freeman. Now back this way for Serginho Dest, right of the area. Slid in towards McKennie. The return for Dest, whose left-footed strike never made it to goal. It was blocked. Ricochets to the top right corner of the box. Flaring out wide to his right is Alex Freeman. Turns it back for Richards. Richards playing 40 yards from goal. Into the middle of the field for Tillman. Laid out to the left for the American captain, Tim Ream. Then for Anthony Robinson, who scored that belter of a goal against Germany in their last tune-up game before the tournament started a couple of weeks ago back in Chicago. Reverting all the way back to the circle is Chris Richards. And then Ream again. We work the 10th minute. Ream thought about going long up the left-hand side. Thought better of it. It's returned to Richards. Richards rolls it this way. On the deck for Dest. Up the near side for McKennie. Tries to step on the brakes and make a cut from right to left. He's done so. Still with possession. Now slides it between a couple of defenders. It was one touch back by Pepe. Controlled by Freeman. Return this way, McKennie. McKennie into the middle for Dest. And now a return for McKennie once more. McKennie on the build-up to the right-hand side. Through a couple of Australian defenders, Dest has had it taken away. Australia clears on the near side. It'll be an American throw in front of the Australia technical area here. The U.S. really pushing this Australia back line further and further back. Again, it's a back line of 5. Off the throw, and it comes to Ream from the left of the center circle. In towards the Australian half. Plays it laterally to his right for Freeman. Knocked on back for Richards. Return for Ream. Australia now trying to push the U.S. back, but Robinson has opened it up with a good ball up the left-hand side, and here come the Americans forward into the area for the left. It's played across, and it's gone in. It's another own goal that puts the Americans out in front. It's off Cameron Burgess in the goal mouth. And the Stars and Stripes are ahead early, just as they were against Paraguay. It's 1-0, U.S. The Australians started to get aggressive defensively, trying to push them back. Anthony Robinson with a beautiful ball up the far side that found Flo Balogun, who once again does the creating. Australia were starting to get a bit too lackadaisical with it. And it was Robinson with a great feed to Balogun who opened it up. And as Balogun entered the area from the left, his cutback was intended for Pepe, but it's gone in off Cameron Burgess, and it's 1-0 America. An explosion of emotion in Seattle. As the United States are ahead, they've already scored their 5th goal of this World Cup. They've barely played 100 minutes. Australia back in control, but Ream has stripped the ball away. Touched forward by Tillman up the far side. Reversed back by Alessandro Curciati. Pinballs on the far side of the field. Australia towards the final third. Aidan O'Neill gets it right of the penalty area. Jacob Italiano shovels it top right corner of the box. Mohamed Toure tries to poke it forward, and it's stabbed towards goal, but wide in the end from Matthew Leckie. And the United States survive what would have been a quick counter from Australia after going behind very early. Leckie, the veteran,
Roughly.
going outside of his boot with the right. Missed the top left corner. What you got, JT?
Hear me out. I think they should let Burgess off because the physics are different on this side of the planet. They're not used to playing the right way up. They're normally used to playing football upside down. So the ball would react differently over here than what it would down in Australia. So I think they should let him off.
Very good. Long ball sent forward, and it ends up getting caught by Patrick Beach, who just couldn't do anything about that last goal. Australia's given it away in the midfield, and Balogun's laid it off, and it's rolled towards the middle, intended for Dest. It's knocked away by an Australian defensive boot. That was Burgess again. It's gone over the end line. It is a corner for the United States. Set piece opportunity here for the U.S. to try to go even further ahead. Surely they couldn't go up by 2, could they, this early? Malik Tillman, born in Nuremberg, Germany, will place this ball down by the far flag. Some hand fighting going on in the penalty area before the delivery here that the German referee wants to get a hold of, most notably between Chris Richards and Paul Okan-Ingsler.
Get on with it.
And this is a long conversation between the referee and Richards and Okan-Ingsler.
And they get back straight to it. Look at that.
Just as the referee walks away, they start shouldering into one another again. Here's Tillman from the far flag. Right-footed delivery into the middle, and it was headed towards frame by McKennie. It was blocked. He plays it back out, and play has been stopped, and it's going to go back to Australia. Possession will. Oh, McKennie, that was heading on frame, and it was going to be about if Patrick Beach could make a save, but it was blocked in the 6-yard box by a yellow shirt, all right off the chest of Jordan Boss. That's a really good delivery and a really good header by McKennie. Meanwhile, Australia restart play from the right of the circle. It's Leckie trying to flip it forward. Instead intercepted by Anthony Robinson. Given back to the captain, Ream. All the way back to the edge of their penalty area. Richards had to take a few more steps to run that down than he may have wanted. Freeman sends it this way. Clipped up into the air by Dest. Comes down this way towards Balogun. He was being held back. They play on. Australia's taking it away here. Up the left-hand side, trying to turn with it was Toure. And then we get a collision on the near side, and Adams is down. And checking on him for a moment was Valupale. As those were the two that made contact right in front of Mauricio Pochettino and his gorgeous hair.
Not as good as someone else's on this broadcast.
Bet I know who he's talking about, too. restarted. And we get another piece of contact.
I'm gonna keep talking
A cord had
while he
become
fixes it.
dislodged. Yes, thank you.
Was it by a dog?
It was.
Was it by a young dog or was it by an older dog?
No, there's only one dog in here right now, and it is a very young one. Yellow card has just been given to Jordan Boss. I thought she had gone to sleep. I guess only momentarily had she done that. Thank you. Free kick for the United States upcoming. This could get very perilous here if it continues this way. Anyway, free kick for the U.S. See if my camera's still in place here. It kind of is. It's good enough. Free kick here for the U.S. off this near right touchline. Delivery in by Tillman, and it's clipped over the crossbar by McKinney. Yeah, there you go. Find a toy. Thank you. As we show American politicians on screen. Just what everyone wants to see.
Thank you, World Food.
Oh, here's a turnover by Australia in the back. And from the left of the penalty area, it's taken and flipped across the face of goal and wide by Pepe. As his cross didn't find anyone, Australia tried to break out, and they'll have a throw-in off the near side. That could have been extremely dangerous for Australia. They'll have a throw-in in front of their technical area. Jordan Boss, who was just given the yellow card by Felix Swire, our match referee, off the throw-in. It pinballs around. Bodies hit the floor. It's a foul going against McKinney. Free kick is taken too quickly for the referee's liking. It's getting a bit chippy already. McKinney and O'Neal, that's not the first time those two have come together here today, and we've only played 18 minutes. Free kick for Australia. And taken and sent up the left-hand side. Paul Akan-Ingsler just got knocked down, steamrolled on the near side by Balogun. Ball's ended up out of play, but there was no foul on Balogun. It's a U.S. throw-in. Akan-Ingsler couldn't believe that. And the U.S. have thrown in to get play restarted. Here is Anthony Robinson from the halfway line of the far side. Sent on back for Ream. Ream directs it this way for Richards. And now this direction for Dest, who made a nice cut as he stopped on a dime and tried to sprint away from Boss, who recovers nicely. But Dest has been able to pass that off for Ream. That's very well done by Dest. Now Robinson with a ball towards the penalty area was blocked. Comes back to him. Back to Ream it goes, into the circle to be taken by Freeman. Freeman's going to crank it this way. Aerial ball up the near side, played down by McKinney. McKinney cuts to his left, sweeps it on back. Freeman again. Freeman for McKinney. Those two play catch, and now it's a short ball back to Adams, which was nearly interrupted by Toure. Grabbed instead by Richards. Guided on for Ream. Floated this way. High arcing ball to the near touchline. Dest got to it. Tried to trickle it towards the penalty area. Yellow shirt got on it. Given back to Dest. Serginho Dest cuts it back, and it's taken away by Toure. And Australia survive all of that. Left-footed clearance all the way down will be played by Freeze out of his area. He's got to get to it quickly, though, because Toure never stopped running for it. Freeze has cranked it up the near side. Australia's back in control. Feathered on back to Beach, the goalkeeper for Australia. He'll flip it to the far side of the field, deep where Ream defended it away from Leckie, but it still came to a yellow shirt. But the return for Leckie knocked away and out of play by Robinson. And they're giving the U.S. a throw. 7th minute own goal put the U.S. in front of Paraguay off Damian Babadija. Today an 11th minute own goal off of Cameron Burgess has put the United States in front here in Seattle, as this ball will carry him back to Ream. They scored their second goal in the 31st minute. As this long ball sent up the middle for Balogun, and he couldn't get to it before Patrick Beach coming off his line did. And Australia are back in control. They've turned it over, though. McKennie towards the spot. Balogun trying to turn on his left foot. Had it blocked. And Australia are in control of it again. Sent up the far side. Taken by Italiano. Right touchline. Jacob Italiano turns it back. And Australia possess. Inside right channel, it's Håkan Ingsler. Sending it up the right-hand side. Leckie to try to run it down. Kept away from him by Robinson. Cleared out by the United States again. Australia to restart. Far side. As they try to creep towards the United States end here. They haven't had a lot of opportunities in the final third yet. Yellow shirts, yellow shorts, green numbers and trim. In the circle, Sutar. Handled to his right, then given back to Sutar. Pressure coming from Des. Sutar had to turn away from him. Comes back to the far side, and it's served into the middle, and it comes for Leckie again on the right-hand side. Out wide on this far side is Matthew Leckie. His ball served in with the right foot. On the near post, Freeman the one to defend it away for the United States, away from the target, Valupale. It'll be an Australian corner here as we do approach the first hydration break. I'll give everyone due warning that when we hit the hydration break, it will be a massive JT Waffle session. It will absolutely be a JT Waffle session.
What?
At the first hydration break, I can guarantee you that. First, though, a corner coming.
Hold on,
Australia.
I'm a Brit, so I should boo the hydration break.
Well, you could spend the 3-5 minutes, whatever it is, doing that.
Then we would lose all of our viewers, Matthew.
I suppose we could.
We would, and we should.
Australia from the far flag. This delivery. Sit in left-footed. It's high into the sky, and it is headed towards goal, but softly by Sutar, and it's ricocheted over the end line off another American shirt, so there'll be another Australia corner from the opposite side. Sutar headed it towards goal, just didn't get a lot on it. Burgess trying to fight through the defender McKennie to get to the ball, could not. Another corner coming. From the near flag. Second corner in a row for Australia. This one's delivered in. Richards did well to get it away, but there was a foul in the box first. And this will lead to the hydration break at the end of the 24th minute. JT?
And that is where I quickly remove that graphic before Matthew goes to orbit, because I was cooking something, and it would have displayed France versus Iraq with the Scottish and Moroccan flag, which wouldn't have been ideal. But here we are. I guess I better do some useful stuff, and I will say that there is your confirmation of the score at the first half. Hydration break. USA lead 1-0. And that is due to an own goal by Burgess in the 11th minute. The change of physics from Australia to the US, with them not being upside down, got to him. Definitely. As the hydration break is ongoing, it'll be ongoing for the next 2.5 minutes, as they're scheduled to be 3 minutes long. Whether they are 3 minutes long, we shall see. Now, I said that is 9 PM Eastern. It's actually 5 PM Eastern, so I'll change that. And then let's go to these graphics. Tomorrow at 1 PM Eastern, we have Netherlands versus Sweden on the channel. Sunday at 12 AM Eastern, So that is, just say, Saturday at 11:55 p.m. Eastern, so you don't get confused, or even 11:59 p.m. Eastern, or even 1 minute past midnight Eastern time, Sunday morning, so you just don't get confused. That is wrong, because that is our game right now. Android 250 is Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And then we have France versus Iraq, also on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Now I need to work out what this USA Australia was meant to be, because we have Netherlands Sweden. This is on air production. We have Netherlands Sweden. We have Tunisia Japan. This is meant to be. I will do live editing. This is meant to be that. And then click on the right flag. Thank you. Now we click on that flag. We do that. And then we make it say tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. So there we go. It is like nothing ever happened at all. Nothing happened. As the hydration break continues here. Just coming to an end now. Matthew will be back with us shortly in this lengthy JT Waffles segment.
And he did a great job.
Yes.
I don't know. I didn't listen to any of it, but I'm assuming he did a great job.
Chance there for America. It was crossed into the box and headed away by Australia. It goes out of play. Look at him.
See, you think having a day off of work for a holiday, it'll allow you to do so many great things. It'll allow you to do a stream that you weren't expecting to do because it's 3 o'clock on a weekday. But see,
let me guess, they called you.
No, that didn't happen. But what has happened is other people
Not yet, anyway.
Other people are, well, indeed, but other people are working, so I've got to babysit. The United States back on the ball.
That's a dog, not a
indeed.
Human, by the way.
No, we're not doing any of that.
Woof woof.
Indeed. United States with it here as we approach the half hour through our first hydration break, which the great and incomparable JT guided you through.
Debatable, but let's go and woof back to the game.
If you see me doing this, it's because I'm looking for trouble.
Well, there could be trouble on the pitch right now with America.
Here's McKennie up the left-hand side. Weston McKennie drops it back. Handled by Anthony Robinson. Robinson then for Ream. Into the circle for Richards. Hopefully you all can still hear me. Dest on the right.
What?
Don't do that. Plays it back to Freeman. And back into the center circle for Tyler Adams. Hey. This is so chaos. Malik Tillman. Halfway line is Richards. Oh my God. Half an hour complete. And Ream has it again. Ream up the left-hand side. Up in the air from Chircotti. And over the end line from the Australian defense. It'll be a corner for the U.S.
And I need to go back because you have teleported again.
Have I? Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yep. I blame the dog.
Might be blaming the dog for a lot more here in a minute. Here's a corner for the United States.
The main question is who let the dogs out, Matthew?
From the far flag. It is delivered in and just over the head of Richards, who went airborne, leaks out on the near side. It will be a U.S. throw. So Freeman will look to toss in from the near side. Would it be better if I just picked her up at this point, just held her right here while I did the game?
That would be an incredible sight.
Thrown in from the near side, Chris Richards. Oh, thank Christ, she's finally found a toy. Here's Ream in the circle. Far side for Robinson. Is this a World Cup watch along, or is it watch an idiot try to handle a puppy while watching a World Cup game? Ream from the left of the circle. This way for Richards. Richards cuts up the middle, nudged it back for Ream again. Ream played it to the left-hand side, which is where the dog is going, the left-hand side. That's where she doesn't need to be. Tumbling down goes an American. You can't hear me anymore.
Replay of the foul, and welcome back, Matthew Owens.
Okay,
That a yellow card was given to Sakati.
Here's what we're going to do here, or at least we're going to try. I don't know if this is going to work. It very well may not. But we are going to see if it will. Say hello to the people, Daisy. Yeah, say hello. Want to watch the Americans?
There we go. Look at that sub graphic.
Here's the ball served in on the free kick towards the penalty area. And a foul in the box going against the United States. How are you? Oh, you want to talk to the people, do you? Because it seems like you want to keep me from talking to the people. That's been the issue here, hasn't it, Miss Daisy? Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, your analysis is very well taken. 33 minutes complete. There is so many opportunities to take screenshots here. No.
How did you know what I was doing?
Far side Robinson on back to Dest and lobbed back out on the far side. Go to sleep, little baby. Australia with the throw in on the far side. I'd love to tell you who that is, but a toy is on top of my board. This one. This toy. Nice and green in color. As bodies hit the deck going for this loose ball on the near side, and it comes to a white-shirted American who then just got bulldozed down. That was Dest. Foul going against Australia. You know this is a big deal, right? This right here is kind of a big deal. And you are keeping me from sharing the big deal with the people. But you're cute. Ream on back to Adams. Richards again in the circle this way for Adams once more. Adams, who scored 2 goals in the Premier League last season with Bournemouth. This direction to Dest. Dest is taken on Jordan Boss. Now a second Australian comes. It's backheeled to McKennie. Then for Freeman. Into the circle for Richards. Back to the middle of the field, Ream. Far side. Onto the left touchline for Balogun. Explosive move past Italiano, who tries to recover by the corner flag. Balogun twisting and turning with it. Played it on back. Robinson touched it for Tillman. Tillman dropped for Ream. Don't hit the microphone, honey. That's how people hear me.
OBS is getting no data. Has Daisy pressed a button?
I mean, possibly.
Okay, I think we're good now. Awesome. Hello, YouTube.
Ball is out of play on the far side, and it'll be an Australia throw. This is There's so many great things happening right now. Thrown in by Italiano. Headed back down. Pinballing around. Ball is free. This way, Cercati tries to run it down. He does. Keeps it in Australian control. But now the U.S. are right back on it as it comes to Richards. Now Ream. Far side is Anthony Robinson. Played a long ball forward for Tillman. It came to Balogun now at the edge of the D. Balogun rolls it to his right. Serginho Dest serves it in left-footed into the middle. It went straight up into the air. Who's it going to come down to? It comes down to Valupale. Australia clear out on the near side. It'll be a U.S. throw from the right of the penalty area. Freeman will throw it in. Does so to McKinney. The return for Freeman nearly went out of play. It did. It'll be an Australia throw now. Serginho Dest didn't approve of that call that the ball went fully out. Jordan Boss will throw this ball in. He does by the near flag. American defenders around it. Elevated back out to the middle of the field. Richards headed it down this way. Heavy collision. Alex Freeman went down. So too did Jacob Italiano. Those two collided perhaps head to head. And immediately a crowd surrounds those two on the near side right in front of the Australia technical area. That did look big between those two. So we've got two stretchers that are going to come out here. U.S. leading 1-0 off the own goal, off Cameron Burgess in the 11th minute. As you see right there. JT, what have you thought about the first about 40 minutes, beyond everything that's happened on our end?
Woof. Well, as I mentioned, the need to understand the physics of how footballs react in different places around the world. Then again, it's not the first own goal that we've seen, so...
It is not.
However, there is a space in around a 32 on the line.
Let's see. United States holding 62% of possession right now to Australia's 29%. So that's a huge number. Of course, Australia only had held 29% of possession against Turkey and won that game 2-0. So we're still waiting for play to restart here. I think they're just trying to determine how play will restart. It'll probably be a drop ball.
As we see some more quote-unquote celebrities.
Saw Paulo Banchero, who of course was born in Seattle. Play is restarted with that drop ball. Dest has played it back to Richards.
You fast-forwarded again.
Sorry. It has been going in and out here over the last, well, I wouldn't say for the last 5 minutes. It just did for that quick spell. Oh, and now it's going to start again. Of course it is. All the way back to Freeze, who will lift it up the near side in the direction of Freeman. And knocked out of play on the near side by Akon Ingsler. It'll be a U.S. throw.
What's your clock at, Matthew?
Thrown in for Richards at 41-25. Here's Ream up the far side for Robinson. There's a lot of factors to blame today. Here is a diagonal ball lifted up this
I
way
blame
by
the goal.
Tillman, pulled down by Dest, given on for McKinney. Right of the penalty area, West and McKinney stand stationless now here. Motionless. Moves to the top right corner of the penalty area. Tried to play it inside. It comes back to him. Weston McKinney looked like he was trying to get to his left foot. Instead, squared it up for Adams. Adams now turns it back this way for Freeman. Freeman up the near right touchline. Serginho Dest makes a move. Rolled it for Tillman. Now Dest again into the penalty area from the right. A yellow shirt clipped it away. It's on the end line. Still it's available. Tillman trying to shield back. Håkon Engsler now coming over as boss. This is like a board battle in hockey right by the end line. And finally a foul has gone and been whistled against Australia. Be a free kick for the United States here.
Okay. I'm not a rocket scientist, but this free kick should be played short, out, and then a strike from the centre. Look, we're going to cross it in and go short to the centre, strike.
Robinson gets it into the top of the box. Dest serves it in. It's up for grabs, and it's in the back of the net. But I don't think it's going to count, and that's not. The offside flag is up. It was so tight towards the byline, and it did give an opportunity for the U.S. to create chaos, which they certainly did, but it's not going to count. It was Malik Tillman who stepped away, allowed Robinson to play it low to the top of the box where it was shot through traffic, and it took a deflection off an Australian straight up into the air. It was clearly offside, though. It looked pretty clear in the light of day.
What did I say was going to happen?
Well,
they were going to play it short and they were going to shoot from the edge of the box at centre. What happened? They played short. They shot from the edge of the box from centre. I am a wizard.
Now, they are checking this. VAR taking a look at it. That looks clear as day offside, does it not, JT? Am I missing something?
That's offside, but then again, VAR have to check everything now.
And this has been quite a lengthy check already for it to have been as simple as I think it is, but we'll see what happens here. They'll get the announcement in the stadium. And our German referee is giving the announcement as we speak. As he does, clock is just going to strike 45 minutes. He's given the goal. Oh, my goodness. The goal has been given. It's 2-0 U.S. And Alex Freeman runs down the near touchline, chased by substitutes as they celebrate. This is so interesting. It looked... Oh, boy, I don't know. What have I missed here? It looked offside, and I don't know what I'm missing. It's Alex Freeman's goal. He was the one that headed it in. It was shot from the top of the box. What am I missing here, JT? Wow. Shot from the top of the box, blazed through traffic, off an Australian body, up into the air, and as Beach went diving to the right, then it deflected up, and Freeman heads it in to make it 2-0.
That looked like there was contact with the goalkeeper's glove as well.
Wow, I am very surprised at that, but it's a goal for Alex Freeman, the 21-year-old from Baltimore that plays in Spain at Villarreal. And it's 2-0 to the United States. As you see, top right of your screen, 7 minutes has been added on to this half, and the U.S. are up a pair.
It took long to confirm that because of all the VAR mess.
Well, and it took a long time. Oh, wow. So the youngest player on this United States team has made it 2-0 to the U.S. Now remember, they got a third right before halftime against Paraguay, and they've just won themselves a corner with Tillman banking it out off of Chircotti. Seth Eaves in the comments, by the way, JT says, we have reached the point of a USN broadcast where I have lost the will to live and I'm not even here. Well, indeed. Corner for the U.S., placed down on the far side by Tillman. Halftime can't get here soon enough so I can get this little girl to a bed, because I think she's tuckered herself out. From the far flag, Tillman will strike it in. Right-footed in-swinger to the back post. Richards was the target, headed away from him. Leaks out on the near side. Possession will go to Australia. Now, here we go, JT. Here's what they were taking a look at on the VAR check. And I guess this just proves that what they're looking at in the VAR room is not what we're looking at on the replay feeds that we're given on the world feed, where the aerial camera shot over the top is not looking straight down. Because when you looked at the aerial shot that the world feed was giving us over and over, it looked clear as day offside, but as they just showed us with the VAR technology, it was not.
What country are you from again? Why are you complaining?
I call games unbiased, don't you know? Had a foul. Well, that's a huge break for the United States. And they're up 2-0 as we're halfway through the 7 minutes that were added on. And if it were to stay this way, the U.S. would advance to the knockout round. And if Paraguay were to lose or draw tonight against Turkey, it would send the United States through and be the win or draw, by the way, Paraguay. I think I said lose or draw. If Paraguay wins or draws against Turkey tonight and the U.S. go on to win this, the U.S. will have clinched top spot in Group D. U.S. possessed the ball in the back as we are just about through this first half. As you see, about 2 minutes and change left in it. Anthony Robinson on the far side has flicked it into the middle for Tyler Adams. The U.S. will play Turkey in their last group stage match in Los Angeles next Thursday, 6 days from now, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. JT will not be with us for that. As the U.S.
10
are very
p.m. Eastern Time, what?
deep in their own half here, and that ball has gone over the end line off of Jordan Boston out for a U.S. goal kick. Yeah, the U.S. next plays Thursday, JT, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. See you there.
Are you... indeed. Are you forgetting that I'm done with college now until September?
You may be, but at 3 a.m. kickoff? Good Lord, that's almost too late for me.
I might actually be with you. I don't know, because that's like the day that's the day before I go to Belgium.
Chircotti will throw in here for Australia. Does up the far side in the direction of Toure. Climbing above him to head it free was Ream. Pinballs around in the midfield. Oh, it looked like Balogun just got toppled over by Sutar.
Okay, hear me out. I leave for Belgium 10 p.m. Friday night. So, that's 5. Hold on, let me talk in Eastern. I leave for Belgium 5 p.m. Eastern Friday night. Which means if I am on that 10 p.m. Eastern broadcast and then I go to sleep after that, I'll be fine for Belgium. It could work, Matthew.
U.S. have won possession back, and they're charging forward here in the final seconds of this first half. Tillman tried to flick it long. It went off a body. It ricocheted to the near side. It's taken by Freeman. Freeman approaches the penalty area from the right, squares it back for Dest. His left-footed shot is smothered by a diving Patrick Beach out to his right. He's able to wrap his arms around it. We have completed the 7 minutes that were added on, but Australia is whipping upfield from our right to our left here, and they're trying to suss out an opportunity before that halftime whistle comes. Here's Jordan Boss getting past Dest. Boss is into the penalty area from the left, and it's taken a deflection right on the end line. He had it coming together with Freeman. And are we going to get a corner or a goal kick? It's going to be a goal kick, and that should be the end of the first half. Some jawing back and forth between the Americans and the Australians, but that is halftime here in Seattle, and it's the United States up 2-0 at halftime as they score thanks to a second own goal already in this tournament that's gone for the U.S. That went off of Cameron Burgess in the 11th minute, and then what very well could be a controversial second goal in the 43rd minute after a VAR check scored by Alex Freeman has put the United States 2-0 ahead of Australia at halftime in Seattle. That's the story through the first 45 in the Pacific Northwest. I will hand you off to JT for just a couple of moments, as it would seem as if dear Miss Daisy has finally fallen asleep. So I'm going to take her from my arms, put her into her fluffy bed, and hopefully that will be the end of Dog Watch in this game. JT, take it away, please.
I've got an incredible graphic to show on the game feed when you return. Anyway, so halftime here. I will enable the graphic so you can actually see the score. 2-0 for USA to Australia as well. And I have updated the group graphic, I think. Here we go. Have I? Yes, I have. Look at that. Currently, look at the star. The asterisk means that this game is still currently in progress. There you go. Matthew!
JT.
Would you care to go back to your game feed momentarily, please?
Yes, in just a moment.
No.
As I get resituated here. This has been an experience. Every stream on this channel is an experience, but this has been a very memorable one. All right, here we go.
Dude, okay.
Hello again. No longer have a dog in my arms. Thank you. JT. Oh my god. Incredible. Okay.
That is a actual useful graphic.
As you can see on your screen, there is the current rankings of the third place teams. Again, the top 8 third place teams do advance.
As nicely highlighted by myself.
Yes. I'm still trying to get situated here in the background. Please bear with me. There are so many things that happened in these last 45 minutes. It's incredible.
Bear with. You have no idea about that reference, but bear with. It's from the same show that I showed you the "What have you done today?"
I've got text messages. I've got text messages from Seth that I'm just now seeing because my phone was immobilized through so much of that half.
Hold on. Your mobile was immobilized.
That's that's exactly right.
Incredible scenes. That is I've just I've just looked over at my screen and I've just seen an incredible freeze frame of you. Hold on.
Well, I've got an incredible screenshot. I've just come up with an incredible screenshot. I've sent it to you, JT. This is peak USN stuff right here. The World Cup is the biggest sporting event on the planet, right? We try to take it seriously, right? Stuff like this happens.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sure.
You know what this situation calls for?
What?
A big gulp of Sprite with tea. I've got to turn it around so you can see the logo. Thank you.
I've I've got an American drink downstairs. Shall I go get it?
You do you, JT.
I'm gonna. I'm going to go and get it. I will be back. I shall return.
Okay, enjoy.
I have never had this drink before.
Okay.
I have, just not the America version.
As we will attempt to turn this back to what we're supposed to be doing, which is covering the World Cup, you know, that small event. 2-0 at half here, U.S. ahead of Australia. This is the first game of the day. Scotland and Morocco will kick off at 6 p.m. Eastern Time in Foxborough, Massachusetts. At 8:30 tonight in Philadelphia, it's Brazil and Haiti. And then very deep into the night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time from Northern California, it will be Turkey and Paraguay. And again, if the U.S. holds on to win this match and then Paraguay gets either a win or a draw against Turkey tonight, the United States will be confirmed as Group D winners. So that is what's up for grabs, not only in this match, but also very late tonight out in Santa Clara.
Because only in a FIFA World Cup would you have a group winner be decided in the second round of games played when you have four games to play.
Well, indeed.
Right. Matthew.
We press on. Carry on.
Like a lean ale.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's right.
I have found American Dr. Pepper.
I'm sorry, just the line American Dr. Pepper has taken me aback. Look at it, it's in a glass bottle! Oh, he's found American Dr. Pepper, not the British Dr. Pepper, of course, because the British Dr. Pepper is really only a phlebotomist. He has found the American Dr. Pepper in a glass bottle.
Made with cane sugar.
Oh, and that's the best right there, isn't it?
I'm gonna... Hold on.
Hold the phone.
This is gonna go badly, I know. Oh!
Oh!
I nearly dropped it. Ow. That actually really hurt.
Bottle top is off.
Ow.
By the way, you know what I haven't said a single time? We've been on for over an hour today, and for the first time ever, you can send super stickers and super chat into the chat section if you'd like.
That actually really hurt.
So yes,
please send a super sticker and super chat so that I can pay to go to the hospital to fix this. Oh wait, I'm not in America.
Jeez. So yes, you can send messages, super chat messages, which is basically another way of us saying send us your money. And if you do send us a super chat, you will the message will be pinned, and I will read it on air. And you might hear a sound effect. I don't know. We haven't gotten that out yet, but there will be a sound effect in the future for super chat messages. There is also super stickers. JT, did you know?
I am aware of super stickers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So there are super stickers that are out there as well to be sent. So yeah, just have a ball with all of that. As that is new to us here at USN, where we provide you the most quality of streams, even while plugs are being unplugged by dogs, by puppies, to the point of where I will pick up the puppy and leave her on camera for what felt like an absolute eternity until she finally fell asleep. Indeed.
Indeed.
I have absolutely nothing else that I know that I can say at this moment, because that first half was like a fever dream.
Something like you hit me like a freight train through the chest. Okay. Something about a fever.
What is going on?
Fever Dream, what a song.
We're lapsing back into karaoke. We don't need to be doing that again. At least not on air. So, anyhow. In Seattle, a 2-0 halftime score. The United States ahead of Australia. I did hear a moment ago through my headset, which I had put down, I heard JT say 2-0. This is a game involving Americans, so it is not 2-0.
2-0.
It is 2-0. or if it was against another certain team, American, another certain team, it'd be 2-0, but
yep.
Not today.
Fever Dream, Alex Warren, what a song. My phone just died.
Your phone just died?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I hate that for your phone. Rest in peace.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're welcome. Holy moly. This is, where would you rank this among craziest USN experiences, JT?
Low. I would rank it very low.
Surely not.
We had a broadcast a couple of weeks. Well, it was last week, wasn't it? Sometime where we just all lost a complete will to live. Matthew, I sent something in the YouTube chat and you haven't read it yet, so you must not have the YouTube chat open. That is embarrassing.
You know how many things I have open right now?
Do you know how many things I have open right now?
Well, you got like 49 tabs. Okay, anyway. I'm answering so many messages. I've got so many messages about dogs being on streams. Anyway. Hello.
My message in the YouTube chat is also about dogs on stream.
It's the first ever super chat in USN history. Oh my god. Bring back Daisy is gonna be. Oh god, we're gonna need a hashtag now on screen. Bring back Daisy. Has to be angry Twitter voice. It sounds better. Bring back Daisy. We don't like the fat man. Bring back Daisy. Should we put this? should we put this category of our streams no longer in the sports category, but rather comedy? Because that's what it's turning into. See, we're looking for people's money, but now we got JT sending us his money. I feel like that might be counterintuitive, JT. If we spend our own money to send to ourselves, but YouTube gets a piece of it. Good Lord. The goal was for somebody else to send their money so JT could go to the doctor because he's ripped open his hand or something.
No, it's fine. But you guys didn't hear that, so please, yes.
Yes. All right, teams walking back out onto the field, Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington.
There's no lights on because it's daytime though. So what's the opposite of lumen?
I don't know. It is one of the warmest days Seattle has had.
That is definitely lumened. Those are bright lights in the tunnel.
This is one of the warmest days Seattle has had so far
This is
year.
one of the warmest days that I've had in this studio so far.
Indeed.
Yep, BBC promoting the TV license again. Yep, nice one. Well done. Well done, BBC. Moving on.
Moving on. And it looks like Australia is going to make a couple of substitutions here to start the second half.
No. Okay, right. I better get back to work then.
Jason Garia and Connor Metcalf are the two that's going to come on. Metcalf, one of the goal scorers against Turkey in their opener 5 days ago. Both of the goal scorers against Turkey started on the bench today. Metcalf along with Nestori Irankunda. But Metcalf's going to come on along with Jason Garia, who plays his club football in Japan. So those are the two that's going to come on. It's going to be Garia replacing Cameron Burgess, who, of course, was the unfortunate soul that scored the own goal earlier, and then Metcalf will replace Nishan Valupale as we get set for the second half to get underway. And perhaps Irankunda is going to come on too, and he is, yeah. It's going to be a triple sub. Irankunda is going to come on to replace Mohamed Torres. So 3 substitutions. You see the confirmation on your screen. Garia on for Burgess, who had the own goal earlier. So Tony Popovich making 3 of the potential 5 changes right here out of the half. Meanwhile, the United States kick off. Second half is underway, and the long ball up the left-hand side is out of play. But I think they're going to re-kick again. They are. They're going to do a second kickoff from the middle of the field. You see Metcalf on for Valupale. And the kickoff taken again, and Tillman will just send it long up the opposite side and out of play. Over by the corner flag, as it were. And that will force a throw-in over by the flag on the far side of the field for Australia. We're seeing a lot of kickoffs like that, as there's the final substitution on screen. Torre coming off to be replaced by one of the goal scorers against Turkey last Saturday, Nestori Irankunda. Australia throw the ball in and immediately try to get forward, but Anthony Robinson is there to knock the ball back into the grasp of Matt Freese, 27-year-old goalkeeper that didn't have to do a ton of work, made 2 saves in that first half. U.S. possess, attacking from our right to our left in this second half. White shirts with the horizontal red stripes on them. Freeze pressured to get rid of it quickly. He does. This direction for Robinson. Controlled back deep in their own territory. Ream sends it long up the left-hand side. Collision on the halfway line. Looking for a whistle there was Dest, but Australia has taken the ball away. And here come the Socceroos up the right-hand side. Aidan O'Neill tussling and jousting along with Anthony Robinson. They both ended up on the deck. There was no foul called. Ball is over the end line for what will be a goal kick for the United States.
Matthew, I've got no idea where you are. What is your game clock?
Here's the goal kick by Freeze at 46-35.
Got ya. I did have an idea of where you were.
Ball up into the air. The re-kickoff was something. They didn't reset the clock on the re-kickoff. I've never seen a re-kickoff before. Is this a double kickoff? Garia up the near side. Jacob Italiano could not handle it. It's out for a U.S. throw. Iran Kunda coming on to replace Toure as the lone striker in this 5-4-1 setup for Tony Popovich's team with that very low block that has surrendered 2 goals in the first half after not giving up a goal last Saturday against Turkey. A free kick coming for the United States. Halfway line left of the circle. Or it'll be just inside the halfway line, and Tillman finally takes back for Ream. United States outscoring their opposition currently 6-1 in this World Cup through a game and a half. As they work it on the far channel here, the 6 goals in group stage play has tied at a United States team record set all the way back in 1930, 94 years ago. Team that made it to the semifinals and beat England in the process.
I was minus God knows how many years.
Of course, the United States beat England in that World Cup. They beat them in the last World Cup 0-0. 0-0, as it were. As here is Richards in the back. Nothing. Played back to Ream. And the U.S. just in the back here. They seem satisfied just keeping it in the back, but just as I say that, McKinney played it long, and down on the deck went Serginho Dest, and we get a whistle. And the 6 goals that they scored in group play in 1930, the U.S., they beat Belgium and Paraguay both in group play 3-0 to score those 6 goals in group play in the 1930 World Cup, the first edition of it, of course, in Montevideo. U.S. looking to progress up the far side. Serginho Dest dropped it back to the halfway line. Now played for Pepe. Far side, Adams. Adams spins it back. We're in the 50th minute here, and Australia is certainly chasing the game. A game that perhaps they did not come in thinking it was a must-win, but I think a lot of people would have thought a 0-0 or 1-1 draw would have been on in this game, and Australia would have been very satisfied with that. But the U.S. looking to attack, keep the positive momentum on in front of their adoring crowd from the game last Friday, as it's sent all the way back here by Australia to Patrick Beach, who sends it high into the sky. It may have pierced a cloud before it came down to Tyler Adams. Sent back to the halfway line for Ream, directed near side Robinson. Robinson takes a few steps forward, gets towards the final third before it's reversed back by Pepe for Richards. Now they'll test the far right side. Richards for Dest. Dest out wide to his right, cuts to the inside. Dest plays it across. It was behind his intended target, Tillman, who has to cut against the grain and run it back down. And the Americans will slow the pace just a bit again. Again, next Thursday, U.S. against Turkey in Los Angeles in the finale of Group D play, while Australia will play in Santa Clara simultaneously with Paraguay. Australia is forced to take away in the midfield here. Perhaps things could be on for the Socceroos. Up this near right channel is Jacob Italiano. Anthony Robinson closes in on him. Italiano serves the ball into the penalty area. Richards, the header up, comes down this way for Pepe, taken back by Aidan O'Neill, and then he has it stripped off his boot, and it's punched forward by Adams, and Flo Balogun is in behind. Balogun towards the penalty area on his right foot, an Australian defender back, and the shot is blocked. It caroms over the crossbar. It'll be a corner. Alessandro Cercati was the one that got on his horse and got back to deny Flo Balogun of what would have been a 3rd goal of this World Cup. That's a great chase down by Cercati. It's a corner for the United States. And the U.S. will likely have chances like that. Further we go on here, the more Australia looks to try to press. That's when Australia has possession, which they've had very little of. From the far flag, Malik Tillman will be the one to serve this ball in, the fourth corner of the match for the United States. Tillman sends it in, into the middle. It comes back towards the edge of the penalty area to a yellow shirt up in the air from Irankunda. Comes back down to the far side. It's available. Italiano lifts it up. Irankunda gets it forward. No yellow shirt on the receiving end of it, though. Alex Freeman plays it back to Ream. Number we're being given for possession right now is 71% for the United States. They have 2 shots on goal and 2 goals, and they send this ball into the area from the right. Balogun's there. He shrugs off one Australian defender, comes back out to the perimeter, right of the area, against Chircotti. He's banked it out off Chircotti. It'll be another corner here, won by Balogun and the U.S. Corner taken short, far side, right of the penalty area, and they'll start to probe. Freeman against the grain on the right-hand side. Now back for Tillman. Tillman's ball in blocked. Another corner coming as it goes out off Metcalf. Now another dog barking. That's brilliant.
I'm getting deja vu with the amount of corners now.
Yeah, from yesterday, indeed. No.
Yes. Is this other dog or Daisy?
There's another one from the far flag in towards Balogun. Made some contact with it, but it certainly didn't go goalward. And now play is stopped as Balogun is bent over in pain, and an Australian is lying on his back. That's Chircotti. It's great timing from the other dog in the back to start barking right when Daisy had fallen asleep. As we're seeing on screen what I'm assuming is supposed to be some celebrities. Well, there's Marshawn Lynch. Certainly a superstar in Seattle. Beast mode. Play has restarted and the U.S. are on the ball.
Of course, been reported that all the NFL players have to pay full price for their tickets, even though the World Cup have gone to their stadium.
Well, indeed. McKinney on the far side trying to move forward, and Chircotti defended him, and it's out for a throw. Is that Russell Wilson? I think it is. Former Seattle Seahawks quarterback that led Seattle to the Super Bowl about a decade back before they won, of course, this past year's Super Bowl over New England.
I'm surprised we've not heard a chant like "Come on, Seattle" since we're in Seattle and USA are playing.
U.S. have won possession back off that Australia throw. Australia just cannot keep possession. Here's a long ball up the middle, too far for the run of Dest, taken by Beach. You know, one of the stories from the Paraguay game was how the United States not only held so much possession, but also their passing was so accurate. They completed 85% of their passes. Today they've completed 90%, as we have bodies on the deck here, including that of Jacob Italiano. And a foul and a yellow card has been given here to the United States. And I believe it'll go against Anthony Robinson on the challenge against Italiano.
They are currently at 337 accurate passes, are US.
And that's 90%.
Yep, and I cannot be bothered to do that maths. It's now gone up to 341, which is 89%.
Australia have restarted play. They do not have many opportunities to get back in this game with the way
They've made
gone.
37.5 inaccurate passes. You're welcome.
Ball has ended up out on the far side for an Australia throw. They've got to make a lot of adjustments here to get back in this game, because again, they don't have any of the ball, and the U.S. have gotten right back on it here. So we play the 57th minute in Seattle, and the United States up 2-0. And again from the back, they will play it around with Richards. Out to his left for Ream. Australia begins to press here a bit, and Robinson, just as he did in the first half that led to the own goal, takes that press, plays it long up the left-hand side. Dest has gotten on the end of it, make that Pepe. Ricardo Pepe, who started in the place of Christian Pulisic out with a calf injury, hands it off. Anthony Robinson curls it back. Now Adams, 40 yards from goal. Up the middle to Richards straight away. He'll lay it out to the right-hand side. Touched onto the far touchline for Dest. Tried to make a cut on Boss. Couldn't. Had to revert back to Freeman. Freeman quarterbacks to Tillman. Tillman tries to pop it over the top. Australia's there to shield McKinney from the ball. It's out for a goal kick. Which is taken quickly. And here come the Socceroos. Really needing something to go their way. Ooh. Heavy touch up the near touchline from Jason Garia. Nearly led the U.S. to creating a turnover, but instead it's out of play off of Tillman for a throw, which is taken quickly into Sutar. Laid out to his left. Touched on by Leckie. Leckie, the veteran in his 4th World Cup. And now here come the yellow shirts with the green numbers up the far side as they try to get forward left of the penalty area. It's Boss. He's curled that ball in, and Ream has headed it away defensively for the United States. It was in the direction of Iran Kunda. Ream thinks it's off Iran Kunda, or at least that's what he's trying to tell everybody, that it should be a goal kick, but it looks like it will be an Australian corner, which will be their 3rd of the match. And that's really the best we've seen Australia produce themselves. We did see them create one chance off of a United States turnover in the first half. This is something that they've produced all on their own and forcing the U.S. to defend a bit. And Ream, the captain, 38-year-old veteran from St. Louis that plays in Major League Soccer with Charlotte FC, with the defensive header away. Got Leckie on the ground. We're just shy of the hydration break. And Leckie was going to start to get up, but now he's stayed down and the physio crew will get to him. So Matthew Leckie being tended to on the field here for Australia. What a terrific player he has been for the Australian national team for such a long time. He's been with the national team for 14 years. Again, this is his 4th World Cup appearance. This is the 6th consecutive World Cup that Australia has been a part of after going from 1974 and not playing in one until 2006 in Germany. They made the knockout round in 2006, then again in 22 in Qatar. They only have 5 match victories in World Cup play in their history. 2 of the 5 coming in 2022. Australia set to make a substitution here. Christian Volpato is going to come on. And it might be Leckie who he replaces, and it is. So Leckie is going to come off, and Christian Volpato will come on for him. 22-year-old that plays his club ball at Sassuolo. He's from Camperdown, New South Wales. This will be just his 2nd ever appearance with the Australian national team, Christian Volpato. You see confirmation of that sub there on screen. Play restarts with a goal kick from Matt Freese. Slides it this side of the field. It went over the outstretched head of Pepe, who went airborne. Past the hour mark. Thrown in by Garia. Flicked on up the near side. Now into the middle through some traffic. Richards popped it up in the air. It came down for Pepe. It's rolled up the middle for Balogun, who could not get control of it. And Australia has it the other direction. And this long ball is sent forward. And here comes Iran Kunda into the area from the right, trying to hustle back as Richards. Iran Kunda cuts it back for a shot that's blazed over the bar from Volpato, who just came on. Australian is down in the penalty area. Well, as I said earlier, Australia is going to really start pressing, and that's going to yield some opportunities for them. It's also going to yield some opportunities on a counter for the United States, but that was really well played on that through ball to Iran Kunda, who, of course, scored against Turkey, and he did a great job stopping on a dime, making Chris Richards bite a bit, cut it back to Volpato, who had a really good, clean look at goal, and he's just shot it over. Tony Popovich knows that could have been the chance for Australia to get back in the game. Goal kick taken by Freeze. Far up the field for Tillman, taken away by Garia. Out of play on the near side in front of the U.S. technical area. Garia will inbound it. Well, he was going to. Now he does. I thought they might. Well, let's see. It's gone right back out of play. As Håkan Ingsler could not keep it in. And now it's a U.S. throw. Taken by Robinson, in for Ream, connected on Richards, return for Ream. Here's Australia pressing again. That's what Robinson is like to see today. Tried to play it long up the left-hand side, deflected out. Tillman, long throw into the penalty area from the left is Balogun. It goes off his back heel. I don't think it was purposeful. It nearly landed to a white shirt, but Australia has cleared it out of the penalty area. And they'll try to move forward. One substitution remaining, by the way, for the Socceroos. Mauricio Pochettino is yet to make any changes to his 11. Left-hand side, Jordan Boss for the Aussies. Hits the brakes. Turns it back just inside the halfway line, and now they've gone back to their own defensive half here for a reload. Australia just have not had it yet today, and they haven't had enough of the ball. But now they're starting to turn up the aggression meter here. This ball is sent long and up the middle. Well too far, though, for Iran Kunda. It's down to Freeze, who will play it with his feet in the penalty area. Hydration break is not too far away here. And maybe that'll be a chance for Australia to huddle up and talk about it with Tony Popovich as the U.S. try to fling it long up the far side, but that attempt to go long by Freeman was blocked. It ricochets back into the penalty area. Australia is forced to take away here. It's Iran Kunda handing it off from the penalty area from the left. It's cut back top of the box, and a left-footed shot on the deck by Connor Metcalf was easily detected and saved by Freeze. Metcalf, one of the 2 goal scorers in Australia's opener against Turkey. Had it come to him there with not a lot of space, but enough to get a clean look at goal, and I think he would say he should have done better with that. Boy, the U.S. are back very quickly. Tillman spills out, loses the ball. He was wanting a foul, none given. Metcalf sends it long. Iran Kunda's making a run for it out of the penalty area to nut it back is Freeze. Iran Kunda's ended up on the deck. He's still down as play has continued on. United States are on the ball. A long switch ball from right to left. Going for Balogun. Is he going to run it down to keep it in play? He has. Balogun. Slide tackle off his boot. Gone out of play. It'll be a U.S. throw. Yeah, Iran Kunda was shouldered down there by Richards, and Iran Kunda certainly thought that there should have been a foul, and he's probably right. U.S. have a throw deep Australia territory. Thrown into traffic towards Balogun, knocked away from him. Yellow shirts have come up with it here. And now charging forward towards the halfway line and getting tripped up was Volpato, the substitute. But again, they have not, German referee has not whistled a foul there. They've let play continue on, so the U.S. get it back. So we're approaching the 3-quarter mark of this match with the United States, those 2 first-half goals holding up for now. They lead Australia 2-0. Ream back to Richards. And Richards into the circle to be taken by Tillman. And again, holding on to this 2-0 lead as we approach the final 20 minutes or so with no substitutions being made yet. So Mauricio Pochettino can cycle in fresh legs anytime he wants. Here's a long ball by Freeze. Headed back by Garia in the midfield. Taken by Robinson. Cycled at the halfway line to Adams, who got grabbed from behind but was able to nudge it back for Tillman. Rolled along for Richards. Far side, it's Dest. One touch to Freeman. Dropped for Richards again. Into the circle for Adams. No real high press here from Australia to try to make them reverse back. At least not yet. Ream with a one-touch feed into the circle. Staggering to it was Tillman. Had to quickly roll it back to Richards. Now it's Ream, who wants to go long up the left-hand side. He spotted Robinson making a run, and this might float just beyond Robinson's reach, and it has. It'll be an Australia throw. This is a good time for the hydration break, though, and they will take it. We hit the hydration break in the 68th minute. I'll once again send you to JT.
And that Australian boot on that foul a couple of minutes ago ended up where the sun doesn't shine. I was going to say something else. I will wait for Matthew to return before I say what I'm about to say, so that you can hear Matthew laugh his head off at a questionable joke. Because that is what we are all here to see. Hydration break is ongoing. There is the score on your screen. USA 2, Australia nothing. You're welcome, Matthew. Not nil. Nothing. In the hydration break currently ongoing. Yeah, BBC promoting Scotland and Morocco's and Brazil and Haiti's match. Instead of saying that they are on ITV, they have said you can listen to it on the BBC Sounds app. Whereas ITV actually say that the broadcast is on BBC. BBC don't say that the broadcast is on ITV. Wow. Look at that. There's one of the many watch parties of the US celebration. There's US fans celebrating in the stadium. You can tell this is on Fox because we're getting a lot of fan shots here. Even though it's not produced by Fox, it's produced by FIFA, I do believe. Anyway, these hydration breaks have become chance for coaches to talk to players, which, depending on who you speak to, will depend on what opinion you get. That lady has a Statue of Liberty hat on. You're far away from New York in Seattle. Believe it or not, there's a USA fan holding the World Cup trophy. If the World Cup trophy has gone missing, you know where it's gone. You can tell these are American fans because they are doing air guitar. This is the most American I think we have possibly gotten. Two men with their shirts off with red, white and blue paint on their bodies saying, "I believe we will win." You can't get more American than that, can you? Anyway, moving on. Hydration break is over. Foul committed by Tyler Adams. It'll be an Australian free kick, which is booted up cross pitch to the left-hand side. Players falling, no foul. USA with the ball in Australia's half. Now booted up kicked out by an Australian, and it'll be a USA throw. Looks like we have subs incoming, however. The number 14 looking to get ready to come on for America. So I better get the graphics ready. Ball is back in play with Australia and in their defensive half. That is, of course, Berhalter, who is getting ready to come on for America. We'll see who he will replace a little bit later on. That's a bad pass from America, turned over to Australia. Now, USA with the ball in their defensive half. Players going down, left, right, and centre. Stream will win a free kick in the defensive half due to a foul by Australia's number 17. Substitution ongoing, and it'll be the number 9 who is off for US and will be replaced by Berhalter. So Pepe is off, Berhalter is on. That is USA's first sub of the game. USA looking to counter-attack from the back. A mess with Balogun. He will get a free kick just within the defensive half near the halfway line. Referee is speaking with Australia's number 24 here. Hello, Matthew. I see you've unmuted.
Yes, you didn't hear it, but I'm sure other people may have heard the absolute chaos in the background with more dogs barking. More dogs.
Incredible. Matthew will now return to the camera screen and I will instantly throw up a graphic. Right on cue.
United States on the ball, but it's been taken away by Australia on the far flank. Jordan Boss with an intercept. You see the substitution, Sebastian Berhalter coming in to replace Ricardo Pepi, who again got the start in place of Christian Pulisic. It's the only substitution that Mauricio Pochettino has yet made. Australia up the near side with Italiano with a quarter of an hour to go, plus whatever stoppage time gets added onto it. Italiano has it. Top right corner of the box now. Volpato dancing on the right-hand side, swings across in, headed away by the United States, not overly convincingly. Balogun hasn't gotten it forward. Garia takes it back. His ball served in. Richards and then Robinson with a couple of headers to get it out of danger. Leaks out on the far side. Cherkati gets back to it for the Aussies. U.S. trying to protect a 2-goal lead here and get 2 wins from their first 2 games to start this World Cup. If they hold on and win, and then Paraguay later tonight gets a win or a draw against Turkey, the U.S. will be group winners. Top right corner of the box, Volpato looks to his left, spins back out to his right, hands it off now. Italiano back to Volpato, who makes a cut in the area from the right. Ball across, fizzed in with the left foot, headed down by Richards, and the U.S. will clear it out of danger again. It's going to go out of play on the near side. It'll be an Australia throw across from their technical area. Back in by Garia. they're doing a really
Yeah.
good job defending a run, Kunda, JT.
There was a earlier tackle done by Mancuda, and let's just say his boot ended up where the sun don't shine on one of the American players. I didn't believe the goal of this FIFA World Cup was to hinder the possibility of increasing the population, but here we are.
Final Australian
what
substitution being
okay.
made here. Jackson Irvine replacing Paul Ingsler. So Irvine, who has been one of the most successful Australians over the past few years, comes on. Meanwhile, play is restarted, and you've got Volpato down and writhing in pain.
The referee was pushing an American player away there. What happened there?
Yeah, we've missed that completely on the world feed here.
One thing we won't miss is this beautiful graphic.
Yeah, Irvine is on. Okay, let's see. It was Volpato and Robinson dueling. Oh, and it looked like Robinson got him up high. There's a lot of shirt pulling and tugging going on.
Get up.
Play restarts, and Volpato up the near side. Robinson's knocked it away from him. It's gone out of play. On the near side, it'll be another Australia throw as we are approaching the last 10 minutes plus stoppage time here. Garia will let Cercati throw it in. Cercati, born in Italy, in Fadenza. Throws it in. Up the near touchline, gets it back on a quick return. Cercati's ball in, blocked by Balogun, out for a corner now. Set piece opportunity for the Socceroos, trailing by 2. Final dozen minutes plus stoppage time here in Seattle. Important moment here for Australia. They get one here and they're back in the game with just enough time to maybe scramble one more out of it. It's Volpato. Swings it in left-footed. It's a high, hanging, out-swinging ball towards the back post. It lands at the top of the box for a half volley that was driven high by Boss, but there was a foul before that. Down on the ground, ended up Freeman. Seth in the comments says, thank you, JT Edwards. Hashtag get up. Yes, Jack Edwards, a World Cup announcer, somehow 24 years ago.
I was like -8 or 9.
U.S. making a couple of substitutions for JT to work on. Joe Scally and Austin Trusty are coming into this game. It'll be World Cup debuts for those two. Joe Scally from Lake Grove, New York, who scored 2 goals in the Bundesliga last season at Borussia Mönchengladbach. And Austin Trusty, who scored a goal in the Scottish Premiership last year. He's been a part of the last 2 title-winning teams at Celtic.
There's one. ESPN, please give me the other one, please. Thank you.
You see Scally on to replace Dest, and it's Anthony Robinson that comes off for the emergence of Austin Trusty. Those 2 players both making World Cup debuts. Trusty from Pennsylvania. As the U.S. restart play, forward ball for Balogun never made it to him. Trusty from Media, Pennsylvania, which is about 15 miles west of Philadelphia. U.S. in the back. Scally in his first involvement. Lifts it up. Inside right channel. It pins around in the circle. Who's it going to fall to eventually? Australia controls it here. On this right-hand side, Italiano charging forward. Now he'll slow the pace, square it back. Held by O'Neal. Crossed for Cercati. He's been very active today, Cercati, and he's going to ladle a ball up the left-hand side. Low ball sent in by Boss. Took a couple of deflections. Can the U.S. clear? No. It's back to Boss. Twisting and turning on the far side to try to get free of Freeman. Turned on back for O'Neal. Top of the circle. Laid off for Garia. And Garia back to the halfway line as Australia forced to revert back. Now here's a forward ball. Italiano with a pocket of space once again on this near right side. Gets it back on a quick return as he took it from Irvine. Now he gives it to Irvine, who's into the area from the right. Played back to the perimeter. Ball served in for Iran Kunda. It's missed him. It's out for a goal kick. The service by Boss needed to be a bit better.
And before anyone says, oh, the graphics just did a 6-7 joke. Ah, it's so funny. That was a genuine mistype. Shush. Thank you. This graphic work happens very quickly, and if you press a wrong number and then press take, then it's already live before you get to change it milliseconds after. Somehow the ball's already at the halfway line. Thank you, World Feed, for completely missing that.
Well, indeed.
Well, and now it's magically teleported down the pitch.
It's going to be eventually an Australia throw, finally, in by Garia, taken by Metcalf, who then gets it again through a bunch of traffic. He's able to swirl it to the back post. It's landed at the edge of the D. Australia unable to direct this goalward. They're calling for a penalty. Irvine has had it taken away. It comes out to Volpato. Volpato ranging to his right, lays it off top right corner. Italiano serves it in. Ream got a piece of it. Cleared out to Balogun. U.S. could get forward on a counter if they could just find one pass, but they haven't. Now it's Irvine again. Australia pressing more than they have all game long. Irvine towards the end line. Tried to cut it back. Banks it out of play off Richards. Should be a corner here for Australia. Australia with a corner here. They need 2 in the next 6 minutes plus stoppage time to try to turn this around and get a result. Can the U.S. survive? Served into the back post, over everyone's head, comes out near side, handled by Italiano, takes a step, pops across back to the back post, twisted to the edge of the 6-yard box, a swing and a miss. Came out to Iran Kunda, whose shot was blocked by a diving out Richards. And we've got a foul going against Australia. 2 players are down inside the 6-yard box. Sutar was the Australian down. He's gotten up. Richards is still down.
At one point, there was 3 down.
Oh. Australia just trying to cause chaos here and try to scramble a goal. There was a lot of pushing and shoving in the penalty area and a lot of just swinging and missing going on down there.
That looks like something out of my old school, not FIFA World Cup.
Coming to the conclusion of the 85th minute, as you see. Mauricio Pochettino has 2 substitutions yet to make if he chooses. Australia is out. Ball back in play. Pinballing around in the midfield. It's come to Balogun. He's handed it back off. To the outside by Tillman. Brought up by Scally. Joe Scally will play it back to Richards and then all the way back to Freeze. Freeze loads up a long ball that he sends into the circle. And this will ping-pong around. Forward header by the Australians. Back the other way by Ream. Finally drops to a boot. Irvine lifted it. Metcalf collided with Adams. It's a foul against the United States. U.S. with 10 shot attempts in this game. Only 2 on goal. They have 2 goals. They have 58% possession to Australia's 33%. Those numbers very much mirror possession numbers that each of these teams had in their opening group game. Australia against Turkey A and the U.S. against Paraguay. Free kick just shy of the halfway line. Volpato loops it up into the air. It's headed in towards the penalty area. Richards reverses it back out. Australia will possess as it's cut back by Volpato, who's got it here. Inside right channel, some 50 yards from goal. Gallops ahead, 5, 8, 12 yards. Now for Irvine, who tried to curl it back towards him. Instead, it went off of an American. Finally, it served into the back post. Richards' defensive header, edge of the box. And a left-footed swing by Cherkati is well off target. And out for a goal kick. We're in the 87th minute. United States are nearly to the finish line here. A win would send them through into the knockout round, joining Mexico in the round of 32. Play restarts, long ball by Freeze. A body ended up on the deck. They play on. Now another one goes down. That's Tillman. Tillman just got taken down by Garia. Now a crowd's going to surround players in the midfield. Americans and Australians getting together here with not so nice words being traded back and forth. Still waiting on Tillman to get up.
What just happened there is someone shouted, it's an 18-hour flight between the USA and Australia, and there was complete uproar about how long it takes. Something tells me I am turning into USN Chasm.
You see on the bottom of your screen as a yellow card has just been handed to Jacob Italiano.
I am gonna be that guy, and I'm gonna change what's on the bottom of your screen, so you can't talk about what you were just about to talk about. There was apparently 3 yellow cards in the mess of that.
Goodness. Well, and just so much contact between Balogun and Sutar.
Balogun, Sutar, and Italiano.
Wow.
All got a yellow card. What a name, by the way, for an Aussie, Italiano.
Well, born in Italy. Yeah, there's
of course
confirmation on the world feed of Sutar's yellow card. Of course, Sutar is a giant. He stands 6'6". Play restarts. And again, confirmation of the Balogun yellow card. And wow, another heavy collision. Center of the field. Scally just got taken down by Iran Kunda. And now once again, you've got a crowd of players forming up and the German referee trying to get in the middle of it as Scally is still down.
At that time, they learned that it takes an hour shorter one way because of the jet stream, and the other team is in uproar that it takes an hour longer.
Oh my goodness.
Than the other way.
As I was trying to say a moment ago, tomorrow at NRG Stadium in Houston at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the channel, it'll be the Netherlands against Sweden. That could be a very entertaining matchup as play restarts here off the U.S. free kick from the left of the penalty area. Trusty's ball in, blocked by Garia. It's out for a corner. Netherlands coming off a 2-2 draw with Japan, and Sweden ran away from Tunisia, scoring 5 in a 5-1 victory led by Alexander Isak. Corner here for the United States. Near flag, it'll be Tillman.
I know that guy.
90 minutes complete. And who do you know?
Isak.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Berhalter ended up taking the corner very short, just leaving it by the flag to try to melt away time. And there you see, top right of your screen, 6 minutes added on. We had more added on to the first half than we have the second. Ball out of play. Australia to throw in. Garia throws it high into the air. Berhalter, a defensive header, lands at a yellow shirt, and it ends up getting blazed off of Berhalter's leg. Out for an Australia throw. They have just not been able to create enough on the attack in this game, and they haven't been able to hold on to the ball enough as dancing forward for Volpato was able to shrug off a couple of American defenders, and he got taken down from behind. They play on for the right of the penalty area. Italiano's cross is terrible. It's out. No, it hasn't landed out. Well, somehow it stayed in. Now they're saying, yeah, it looked absolutely like it went out for a goal kick, and it has. Later tonight in the World Cup, Scotland and Morocco at 6 in Foxborough, Brazil and Haiti at 8:30. We'll do battle in Philadelphia, then Turkey and Paraguay in Santa Clara. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, Netherlands and Sweden on the channel from
God.
Houston at 1. That starts another quadruple header. Well, kind of quadruple header day. The fourth
Across
game
multiple
is
sports.
the
Right.
fourth game is Tunisia, Japan at midnight Eastern. So you tell me if that's 3 games in a day or 4. Anyway, Calder Cup final game 5 is tonight. I was taken aback by the fact that game 5 was tonight after game 4 was last night. How about that quick turnaround? Chicago in overtime last night, keeping the sweep from happening as the U.S. are forward here. Balogun has clipped that for Tillman, who's headed it down and then played back across. Balogun couldn't reach it. He's gotten it back right of the penalty area. Remember, they did score their 4th goal against Paraguay very late with Gio Reyna. Australia trying to clear the ball out here, and they have. And Iran Kunda down the far side basically ran into Richards, and we're going to get a yellow card here on Richards. I don't know about that. Iran Kunda just ran into him rather than the other way around. Yeah, Iran Kunda just ran into Richards. That's like...
KO.
Wow, that's... I don't understand that at all. That's a terrible yellow card. Now we have an official. A referee is down, and an Australian player is trying to help stretch out the left leg of what appears to be a cramping referee. That is our head referee, Felix Zweyer of Germany. We're over halfway through the 6 added on. And now you're going to have an assistant referee that's going to bring Felix a drink of some kind down. Is that pickle juice? Might be pickle juice. Now here's a bottle of water being given to him. It's Aquafina, of course, which comes from the Coca-Cola Company, which is an official sponsor of FIFA. Or as they might say over there in England, Aquafina. Swayer just stretching about here. He's back on his feet. And Mauricio Pochettino is moments away from guiding the United States to 2 wins from 2 to start this World Cup campaign. 90 seconds left of the 6 that were added on. Of course, more likely to be added on beyond that because of the referee injury. Free kick to be taken from Australia just inside the halfway line. Played diagonally from left to right. Tillman hooked it high up into the sky. It's going to come down in the circle. Balogun couldn't handle it. Australia back in possession. Flipped up this right side. Italiano was the target. Defensive header out by the U.S. Quick throw to be taken. Metcalf in for Volpato. Volpato on the near touch line. U.S. are set to make a couple of substitutions here. Whoever they are that's going to come on, they're going to come on for only moments as Volpato's ball in is beyond everybody and out for a goal kick. Haji Wright and Gio Reyna will come in for the United States. Will use up their final 2 subs. Wright to replace Balogun. And Reyna on for McKennie. The American supporters chant, jump, dance, scream as Haji Wright from Los Angeles, the 3rd cousin of Super Bowl champion running back Joseph Adai with the Indianapolis Colts, come on. And Weston McKennie from Fort Lewis, Washington, will come off. Gio Reyna, who had the goal, the Travello goal, right at the end on last Friday night against Paraguay, comes on here. We have played the 6 minutes. Goal kick taken by Freeze. Again, more to be added on to that, of course, as Australia try to get forward. Irvine knotted it down on the near side. Bodies hit the deck. Iran Kunda's gotten back to his feet, and he's on the ball. Tries to cut it back in the direction of Volpato. Cleared away by the U.S. Motored up the left-hand side. Downward header came to right. Then he dropped it back for Tillman. And now again, he's filtered it for Haji Wright. Right into the area from the left. Gets to his right foot. Yellow shirts around him. He tries to take a shot. It's blocked. Offside flag is up on the build-up anyway. Clock now reads 97 minutes. Patrick Beach will send this long up the middle of the field. Headed on by Richards. Up by Ream. Down to the feet of Irvine. He lifts it right back in towards the penalty area. Yellow shirt is not there. And it's shepherded out of play by Freeman for what will be a goal kick. USA chant around Lumen Field in Seattle. What a dream start to this home World Cup it has been for the Stars and Stripes. Long by Freeze. Up in the air off the head of Wright. Bouncing around. Reyna forwards it up the left-hand side. Taken by Tillman into the area from the left, playing it across for maybe a third, but Haji Wright could not get on the end of it. Good defending by Cherkati, who's been terrific all day, but it's the United States who has been the best today. Full-time whistle blows in Seattle. The U.S. win it 2-0. They're on to the knockout round of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. A spot in the round of 32 secured. And perhaps by the end of the night, a group victory will be secured if Paraguay wins or draws later tonight in Northern California against Turkey. The U.S. will secure top spot in Group D. And of course, even if it doesn't get clinched tonight, they've got their group finale coming up this next Thursday night against Turkey from Los Angeles. But at the moment, the first goal of many on the to-do list in this World Cup has been secured for the U.S. 2 wins from 2, outscoring their opponent 6-1. They've advanced into the knockout round for a second straight World Cup. As here in Seattle, the full-time whistle blows. The United States 2, Australia 0. Perhaps there could have been a better start to this World Cup for Mauricio Pochettino's United States team, but it would be hard to imagine anything better than that. There you see the updated look of Group D. Top spot not yet secured for the United States, but certainly a spot in the knockout round is. Australia stays put with 3 points. The goal difference goes from +2 to 0. Turkey and Paraguay to play later tonight as they try to scrap for third place. As there you see the rest of the group standings. Groups G through L will get their second games in group play on in the coming days. Americans on the pitch applauding the crowd. As there you see the rankings of third place teams in the group, and you see Turkey way down there at the very bottom. We'll see if that changes for them or Paraguay by the end of tonight here from Group D. Well, the term, the chant that has been going on and become very popular with U.S. soccer over the past decade and a half or so is "I believe that we will win." This team is starting to inspire a lot of belief that they will win and perhaps keep winning. Still early days in this World Cup, but it's 2 wins from 2. Again, 3 more games tonight in World Cup action. We will rejoin you on the channel with World Cup action tomorrow from Houston, Texas, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. the Dutch and the Swedes. That could very well be an entertaining game there between Netherlands and Sweden. So we'll see you at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's high noon in Houston. And then tomorrow night at midnight Eastern, we'll have Japan.
From high noon to low noon.
Yeah, from high noon to midnight. Japan and Tunisia, JT, and that has a lot of historical significance, doesn't it?
It does indeed. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it will.
Hit the button.
New Zealand and Egypt coming your way tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time as well.
Hit the button.
And then, of course, Sunday at 3:30 from San Diego, California, NASCAR
Oh my god.
takes to Naval Base Coronado for the Anduril 250.
I deleted the AHL one because I thought we were going to be done, and then I woke up and it was overtime. I'm going to click that button real quick so Matthew can waffle about that game.
France and Iraq also on the ledger after Kylian Mbappe's 2-goal performance in their opening victory over Senegal. As I try to scroll to that on screen, that is a
More
Monday.
waffling, please, Matthew.
That is a Monday game, by the way. France and Iraq at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That's why it caught me out there. Thank you. So we'll have France and Iraq for you, as Iraq has already had to play Erling Haaland, and now they've got to play Kylian Mbappe. Are you kidding me? My goodness. And, of course, tonight at 7 p.m.
That was
Eastern
very
Time
quick work
on the channel.
Look at that.
Game 5 of the Calder Cup final. Chicago avoided the sweep with an overtime win last night in Toronto. It's back in Toronto where the Marlies look for their second title in the last 8 years. Jarek Rubel will have the call. We had an enormous turnout for that game last night, and we hope to have one again tonight. So, again, it finishes in Seattle. The United States 2, Australia nothing. The own goal in the 11th minute, the second own goal to go for the United States in this tournament. Then a controversial goal just before halftime, scored by Alex Freeman to make it 2-0 after a lengthy VAR check. So the U.S. have advanced to the round of 32. By the end of the night, they might be group winners. We will see you again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the Netherlands and Sweden. Until then, for the amazing JT, I am merely Matthew Owens signing off. The U.S. winners over Australia.
And Daisy.
2-0. And Daisy, of course, who made a triumphant appearance. I have a feeling it won't be her last. So long from Seattle, sleepless